Cleveland this morning. If Ariel Castro is guilty of forcing his captives to suffer miscarriages, can he get the death penalty? Ohio prosecutors say yes, but making murder charges stick won't be easy, so we want to talk about that. Paige Pate is a defense attorney and constitutional lawyer, and Carrie Hackett is a defense attorney. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So the prosecutor says the law of Ohio calls for the death penalty for those most depraved criminals who commit aggravated murder during the course of a kidnapping. So if Castro caused a miscarriage, would that fit the law, Carrie?
Yes, I think so. If he purposefully causes the termination of a pregnancy, that can be aggravated murder. And in this case, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult because we're going to have to prove first the causation and second that the pregnancies actually occurred. So I think the investigation and trying to determine whether there actually is a fetus is going to be very integral and important to this investigation.
And part of why they're digging up the backyard, right?
Yes.
And Paige, 38 states have fetal homicide laws, including Ohio and including Georgia. Can you just in general outline what those laws say?
Well, basically, they're treating the fetus as a person. And if there's an unwanted or unlawful termination of a pregnancy, it's just like killing someone. It's
At
just
any
like
point during the pregnancy?
Yes, basically there's not a lot of case law to determine when it's okay and when it's not okay, as long as it's unlawful. And that's the key thing. If it's unlawful, it can be aggravated murder. If it can be aggravated murder, it can be the death penalty.
And sadly, Carrie, we only have the victim's word for this, right? I mean, how could police get proof that this actually happened?
I don't think we know yet what we have. I think that we could just have the victim's word. These other women that were held captive as well could have witnessed the pregnancy, so that victim's word could be corroborated ultimately. They could find the fetus in the backyard or somewhere else. They could determine that there are other physical signs that have shown that this woman has gone through a pregnancy, and certainly she hadn't before the time that she was kidnapped.
Yeah, because I understand, according to some laws in some states, that a doctor has to actually examine a fetus or have some other sort of proof that a woman was pregnant, and I can understand how there might be signs a woman was pregnant, although very early on, I don't know if that would be hard to detect.
You know, I don't think ultimately they anticipate convicting him and sending him to death based on these unwanted or unlawful termination of pregnancies. They're going to use that as leverage. They're going to say, look, we're going to charge you with aggravated murder. You're facing the death penalty, so it is in your best interest to go ahead, cooperate with this investigation, plead guilty, and serve the rest of your life in prison.
Well, I know a lot of women who say he should face the death penalty anyway.
Yes.
Right? But that you can't for rape and kidnapping and stealing someone's young life and...
Not in Ohio.
Think about that too, the death penalty. If we really want to do that, we're talking about a lengthy trial. We're talking about a lot of appeals. And do these women really want to go through this experience again?
That's a tough question, and only they can answer. You know, and I think back to J.C. Dugard, right?
Yes.
She went through all of that, and it had to be horrible for her. The judge had, you know, I don't think she ever appeared in the courtroom, right? So he protected her.
I don't believe she did.
But still, she had to, like,
there would be a lot of psychological trauma from having to testify, I would believe, regardless of the situation, whether you actually needed to appear in front of your captor or not.
Carrie Hackett, Paige Pate, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll have more on our special coverage from Ohio.